Of bottled water without the bottle for your whole house. You'll cook and clean in bottled pure water. You'll shower and bathe in bottled pure water. Your dogs and cats will drink bottled pure water. Your skin will feel softer. Your dishes will sparkle and your faucets will look like new forever. Long, happy, healthy. Sign me up for some of that. When you get whole house water purity, you'll be so happy you'll wave at us with a big smile on your face as we drive away. And we'll wave back at you, too. Long, happy, healthy. It all starts with pure water.
Whole house water purity by Gettle, installed by the Sunny Plumber. Go to thesunnyplumber.com.
Okay, here's the deal. You're a freelancer, a hired hand, a self-made, self-owned business of one. Whether you're a contractor, creative director, or consultant, you're the boss. And that makes things easy. Unless, of course, you're trying to get a mortgage. When it comes to qualifying for a cash-out refi, gig economy workers come with more obstacles, more complexities, and more stress, right? Wrong. Dial 855-875-CASH, and one of our cash-out mortgage specialists will help you qualify for the lowest interest loan possible, regardless of your source of income. It's the easiest call you'll make all day. That's 855-875-CASH. Make the cash call today. First Mortgages, Impact Mortgage Group, DBA Cash Call Mortgage, 19500 Jamboree Road, Irvine, California, 92612, NMLS 128231. Equal housing lender not licensed in all states, including New York. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. Again, that's 855-875-CASH. Make the cash call today.
This morning you're up early because you're at the DMV. So many people, it takes so much time. Do you have the right form? Are you in the right line? Your number E42, right after C23. This is confusing. When your morning is hell, just go to Taco Bell.
And let us make you breakfast like Taco Bell's Dollar Grilled Breakfast Burrito. All your favorites like eggs and bacon wrapped up in a grilled tortilla. At participating stores during breakfast hours. Prices may vary, tax extra.
At Anytime Fitness, we know that healthy doesn't happen on its own.
But together, we can make healthy happen.
With the right help.
In the right ways.
With an ally who listens.
With coaching and team workouts.
To get you to your healthier place.
Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
January 1st through 11th. Join for $1 and get a free Jumpstart training package with a coach, valued at $100. Visit myhealthyhappens.com.
Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream, where I can chase adventure like Maui and Moana. Anna proves family is forever, and I can dream big with the Disney princesses. And Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream.
Experience the magic on opening night Thursday, January 10th, when tickets start at $15. Restrictions and additional charges may apply. Coming to Thomas and Mack Center January 10th through 13th. For show details, visit UNLVtickets.com.
I'm Glenn Lerner. We're asked after people have been hurt in a wreck, how much? How much is medical treatment going to cost? How much time is it going to take before I get better? How much is it going to cost to get my car fixed? And most importantly, how much is my case worth? You've got plenty of questions after you've been in a wreck. We've got the answers. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call 877-1500. The call is free, the consultation is free, and the advice is free.
Glenn Lerner is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
Introducing the all-new 2019 Subaru Forester. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive with 33 miles per gallon, plus standard EyeSight driver assist technology. The SUV for all you love.
EPA estimated highway. Actual mileage may vary. EyeSight is a driver assist system that may not operate optimally under all driving conditions. Driver is responsible for safe and attentive driving. System effectiveness depends on many factors. See owner's manual.
SubaruLasVegas.com.
Hello, friends. This is Thomas Johnson from Joe's Seafood Prime Steak and Stone Crab. Need a great idea for lunch or dinner? Your best bet is Joe's, one of the most popular dining destinations on the Strip. Joe's provides the ideal setting for private parties with accommodations for up to 150 guests. Stop by to see us at the Forum Shops at Caesars and ask for Thomas Johnson, your maitre d'.
Teddy and myself are talking about St. John's. Which covered last night.
Sweat. It was a sweat.
Well, but it shouldn't have been.
The last possession was a sweat.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, jeeps. St. John's right now is leading the nation in getting hosed by officials.
Sure.
The Seton Hall game, which the Big East admitted they screwed up. And I thought there was some
egregious
calls last night. Yeah, egregious is the right word. St. John's is pretty good. Ponds is tremendous. So is Joe's. And, we're doing the Wager Talk videos today. And Vegas runner's there, Johnny the Greek. He went there with his wife. She had the Dover sole. Absolutely loved it. He had a lobster. Absolutely incredible. It's just everybody raves about Joe's when they haven't been and discover it. It's just as good as it gets. So find out for yourself. Make a reservation, 702-792-9222. You got this live from Ralph this morning because he forgot to send out the email.
Oh,
what did he come up with?
Well, we have a doozy here.
Ooh.
A double doozy. All right. This is about
double doozy?
Yeah. If we're going to double doink, we got double doozies right here. The Cowboys and the Rams. Dallas, 10-0 ATS after a win in which they trailed after the third quarter. They were down 14-10 to Seattle. Dallas, 9-0 against the spread as a road dog after a game in which they had more than 34 minutes time of possession, which they did last week. And, oh, by the way, Jared Goff at home, 2-10-1 against the spread at home versus teams with a 400 winning percentage or better. So he's done decent against the dismal squads, not against the good squads. All of those trends pointing towards the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay. And the Cowboys, they're one of those teams that's got a chance to make a run. We'll see if the Rams can keep me alive on some futures that I have going. Well, I haven't talked to Rob Vino in a long time.
It's time.
Well, then we're going to do it right now. Rob Vino Sports, joining us. He's part of the Sports Memo team. How are you, Rob? Long time no talk.
Dave, it's been a long time, buddy. How are you? How are you, Teddy? Everything's good over here for me. We got a little snow blowing through the air here in Pennsylvania right now. So,
you know what?
My New England roots teach me how it is to be cold, but I'd rather be warm right now.
Yeah, you know what? We never have to worry about doing out here in Las Vegas. Shoveling heat out of the driveway. Doesn't happen. Dave.
When I lived there, Dave, I used to say the two things I didn't miss: being on the wrong end of the snow shovel and on the wrong end of the leaf rake. When you come back east, you're on the wrong end of both of those.
All right. Well, let's talk some sports. Hey, let's kind of focus on the NFL, and we'll get maybe a college basketball play from you a little later on in this conversation. Rob, you don't have to give your picks in these games, but maybe how you think they're going to play out, what you think the teams need to do to win the games. Since you're in Pennsylvania, I'll start with the last one first, which is the Eagles, the lone Keystone State representative still playing, and, of course, the defending champions. And they have a tall task in front of them as they have to go down to the Superdome and try and become the first team ever to beat Sean Payton in a playoff game at home and the first team ever to beat Drew Brees in a playoff game at home. But Nick Foles, the magic man, I don't get it. And I still keep saying that every week. I don't get it. But he keeps getting this team to the winner's circle.
Yeah, you'd be right in with the sports talk show hosts here in the Philadelphia area, Dave, where they have done nothing but really bash Nick Foles for the better part of 2 years now since he entered the starting lineup last year off the Wentz injury and led him to the Super Bowl. And then, of course, the same thing happens this year. And, they just look from the eye to be a bit looser on offense when he's involved as the quarterback. I think the Wentz injury, though, certainly hindered him this year, no doubt about it. As far as the game goes, one quick thing, guys, where perhaps the whole thing could be turned upside down is that, the four teams that drew buys heading into this week, all four of those teams have the worst red zone touchdown allowed percentage of the 8 teams remaining. All the home teams here, just terrible when it comes to stopping teams from scoring touchdowns in the red zone. The 4 wild card winners, all better in that regard. That goes the same for Philly, which sits number 1 in that statistical area, and New Orleans down in the low 20s. So perhaps the defense can turn Saints, red zone possessions into field goals. That's one way they could win. I don't see them winning this game, but still, there is something a little bit different, and they've gotten healthier over the course of the last few weeks. The Jordan Hicks addition in the linebacking crew, so on and so forth. And New Orleans is a little banged up across the offensive line, even though they'll all play.
We're talking with Rob Vino from SportsMemo.com. And, Rob, I just gave a bunch of trends at the start of this segment, talking about how the Dallas Cowboys were the play in L.A. against the Rams. We certainly saw last week the inexperienced postseason quarterbacks did not fare well And Jared Goff in his playoff debut last year against Atlanta did not fare well. What are you looking for this time around as Goff gets his second ever playoff start?
Yeah, I heard those three trends, Teddy, and you know me, you're not going to get me to buy into much of the first two. The third one, I give you a little bit of legitimacy to. But where the Cowboys are concerned, it's funny. All of these teams obviously have flaws. But in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys, in the AFC, the LA Chargers, probably have the best combination of offense and solid defense. And that goes a long way. Certainly if you're the Cowboys and you can ride Ezekiel Elliott and you can limit possessions, you can get a little pressure on Jared Goff. There's ways for Dallas to win this game, no doubt about it. But I think the biggest issue, just to boil it down and be real simple about it, is Dak Prescott has to play the type of clean game that he played last week against Seattle. If he doesn't make mistakes, they're a better football team. It's when he's throwing it to the other team or losing it on a strip sack or something that they get themselves into trouble. So, and it is kind of simple, I know, and it's not real in depth, but I do think that, Jared Goff is going to make some plays. The LA offense is going to make some plays. But if Dak Prescott plays clean again like he did against Seattle, which in my view is probably a little bit better defense than the LA Rams is, then Dallas does have the potential not just to cover but to win the game.
Chargers, they won. They won at Baltimore. I can't take that away from them. But there was still elements of the old Chargers that showed up in this game. Look, they should have been up a lot more than they were. They left points off the board. Baltimore was unable to take advantage of that because Lamar Jackson was terrible for three quarters. Harbaugh made a couple of peculiar decisions. Tucker missed 2 field goals. Those mistakes don't get made by the Patriots. And that's what worries me here. I think the Chargers are actually more talented than the Patriots at this point. But the Patriots know how to win football games when it matters, and I don't know if the Chargers do.
Yeah, no, those points are well taken, Dave. It's all true. The Chargers kind of reverted back to, the field goal team that they had been in the past. Their red zone touchdown scoring statistics will tell you that they were 10th in the NFL this year, top third, as far as that number goes. But then they hit the playoffs and everything becomes a field goal again. I can't tell you how frustrating it is over the last 2-3 years to watch the Chargers, whether you're holding a ticket on them or whether you're holding a ticket on the over, and to watch them turn successful drives into field goals. Like you say, it happened again. They did get by. They held off the late rally, played very good defense. Obviously, Joey Bosa now rounding into form makes that defensive front very difficult, and we'll see if the New England Patriot offensive line can protect Tom Brady from them. I would agree, like I say, with everything you said. I, too, believe that the Chargers are a bit more talented. It's so tough to go into Foxborough and win. It's going to be 25 degrees, but I don't know that matters. It's not the 25 below that it was when Kenny Anderson and the Bengals rode Dan Fouts, Joyner, Muncie, all those guys out of town in 81 to get to the Super Bowl. So I don't know that weather will play a big factor here. You just wonder if the Chargers can score touchdowns in this game rather than field goals. New England doesn't have that stout of a defense, but LA's going to have to score 7s to win that game.
Well, the winner of that game will face the winner of the Colts and the Chiefs. Kansas City, for most of the season, was the best team in the AFC. Indianapolis, however, has played like the best team in the AFC down the stretch. Now 10-1 their last 11 ball games. And, of course, given Andy Reid's playoff history, there's been a fair bit of support for the Colts here in Las Vegas. What's your take on this game, Colts versus the Chiefs, the early start game on Saturday?
Teddy, it is funny because we watched last week, and we watched the Colts down the stretch. You just rattled off the numbers. Last week, boy, they looked impressive. But the two teams couldn't be more different opponent-wise for Indianapolis. For lack of a better word, the Houston offense was just, well, I will use a better word. It was completely hamstrung. Let's face it. The DeAndre Hopkins shoulder separation in the first half didn't help. No legitimate deep threat down the field. Here you're going to deal with Tyreek Hill, who, whether it's being a slant and going 60 yards after that or getting straight downfield against the Colts type of umbrella off defense, it's just a different breed from what they saw last week. Houston can't protect their quarterback. Mahomes is pretty well protected. It looks like, every indication